good evening, good afternoon. So considering what I was just going through, it's not really about me, but someone I care about. It'll be okay. I'm just saying that, not that you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just someone passing away. But it's good. It seems like I was able to do much of the stuff that I planned to do already. That includes the reading I gave for this one lady, and it was actually very fun. We were laughing a lot, so it's very good energy. I was helping her with her medical chart, or what's it called, planetary health chart in medical astrology. I'm going through the basics, like I was going through the basic astrology chart. Then I added the asteroids, so that was fun. It kind of confirmed what she was looking for, so that's a good sign that I was, you know. So it ended up being kind of very interesting through near the end, lots of laughter, and then so I'm doing the right thing. I'm helping through my experiences myself and what I've done and the research I put into this whole thing. I love it. So, but welcome to those who are new to my channel. My name is Jose. And I basically an astrologer, specifically what I like to call a micro-astrologer. So I work with over 180 approximately asteroids. There are over 100,000. But yeah, so that's my what do you call it, your bread and butter. That's my, what I do. It's because I've done research on the asteroids, a lot of it, like hundreds of pages, like hundreds. So single space too. But it's still fun because I really enjoy the details that go through it. So I kind of cut down on what I'm doing now with moving on to fixed stars and a bunch of stuff. So my own research feels very independent. It's not very fun. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments near the end, do leave your comments down below. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the other side. So welcome, and for the sake of my channel, welcome everybody. I appreciate this again, like I said before. Thank you. Let's see what we have here. All right, so let's start with the headache. Okay, head. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, so I did see several things. One specifically ties specifically to headaches. So it's something that you've had pretty basically you came here to learn from that as well. The main one is, by the way, since I'm still kind of amateurish when it comes to medical astrology, but I'll do my best. So what I noticed here is that when you were born, literally when you came out of the womb, however it was, there was, I don't know, I feel like there was like minor toxicities there tied to the, it's technically the, what is that one called? I think it's the central, or no, central, the, what is that one called? Lymphatics, and also the, I think it's the lymph nodes. Yeah, immune system, lymphatics, the sympathetic or involuntary nervous system is tied to that. But there was like some kind of like something crazy happened. I don't know what it was, but it was small. But it could have been, I guess you could say, lethal. Maybe perhaps it was just really toxic when you were born. Something to do with it's not blood, but it is immune system related. So do you have? Before I go into the asteroids, I want to make sure that I'm getting that right. Is that I feel like it's tied to that. It was also undiagnosable possibly, or it was just kind of like, what the heck is going on here? It's weird. Unless I got the time wrong, 2:36 a.m. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm getting. I'll share the window actually just for the sake of this one. Yeah, do you remember what happened? Like, I feel like it's something to do with that. But actually, it's also tied to Mars here, so I feel like there was inflammation involved. some kind of inflammation. There was
with me or like my
yeah,
mom's?
like yeah, kind of you carried that to your mom, like it's when you were new and you were born with it.
Hmm. I don't know. I know my mom has, issues with inflammation and stuff like that.
Okay,
And I mean, I know I do.
okay.
And I seem to think I have some kind of immune system, something. So I don't know. That's interesting you're bringing that up.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I'm seeing here something to do with I don't know if it was ingested. There was something ingested. I think there was some foreign body. I feel like that's tied to mages right here. Let me double check. Yeah, it's like something small, but it had a huge impact on the birth itself. I wouldn't say necessarily huge, but kind of. Um,
Hmm.
but it is. Let me go further than this one. I feel like it's tied to something to do with. Was it something to do with the legs? There's something to do with bone structure and legs. If it definitely immune system, the legs or not the legs, sorry, the feet.
Oh my God, my feet are freaking killing me. Like I'm going for MRIs of my feet right now.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
my feet literally like are hurting so bad. Like there's something wrong with my feet right now.
Yeah. There is
I'm going
this. Mm-hmm.
acupuncture and everything for my feet, bilateral feet.
Yeah. There. There's a sort of restructuring going on. I feel like, but that's on a more energetic level and collective, like humanity is going through that right now. But at the same time, so here Saturn has is transiting your chart or transiting your chart. What that signifies is, well, Saturn not retrograde anymore. It's released itself from retrograde. It's what we call in astrology or astronomy. It's oh, sorry, lost my train of thought here. Um, it's just moving now. It's no longer pulling back. Let's just put it that way. And it's tied to it's still tied to Neptune. So usually what that signifies is with Saturn there's some sort of hold back, some sort of restriction. Let me double check here. Instead of stimulating it, it's doing the opposite, right? So it tends to what do you call that? Second here. It's like cold. There's some sort of like um, it's like a limitation. It's like a pullback. It's like a hold. It's like a restriction. Okay, so instead of heat, it's cold. So there's something going on with cold. It says here the humidity exposures to either color. Da, da, da. Okay, so chronic conditions. Is it chronic? Are you feeling like it's chronic right now for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so bones and skeletal structure, the teeth. It's not with Taurus right now. Let's see if it's connected to Venus here. Is it connected to Venus? Where is Venus? No. So there's something about limitation of circulation. Again, it's undernourished. There's. Are you drinking more water?
I try to drink a lot of water. Lately,
Okay.
I've been a little too busy, but I usually
Oh,
drink a lot.
okay. Because I feel like it is tied to. There's a polarity here. It's tied to the Virgo placements, but it is tied a lot to the immune system. I feel like there's something in your immune system that's not doing its job. Um, let's see here. Is there? You feel like I feel like there's toxic buildup. Like, do you walk a lot or do you not walk a lot? Do you tend to sit a lot? Um,
Well, I normally didn't. I always exercised and everything, but because my feet hurt so bad,
yeah.
I haven't been exercising because my feet hurt that bad.
Okay. It's not swelling though, right? It's not gout.
No,
No. Okay.
no, it feels like a plantar fasciitis, but it's not. They're telling me it's not plantar fasciitis.
Here, let's take a look here. Saturn Pisces usually indicates bad feet, corns, bunions, weak immunity. So, yeah, the immunity comes back in. Something about lungs. Let's see if that's squared to that one. No, it's. I don't think it's lungs. Something about waist. Again, because you haven't been walking, that's normal. That's fine. Any sort of sluggish lymphatics. Again, I think the lymph nodes are part of the right here or something like that. I don't know where the lymph nodes are. I think that's something to do with hormones. And then let's look at Neptune. So usually Neptune is tied to disillusion. It's it's meant to kind of bring it away, kind of because it is water. But it's also related to electromagnetism. Have you been under a lot of like up front of the computer a lot or any sort of technology?
Well, with my mediumship, I do a lot of circles and
Huh.
stuff like that. I try to keep involved there.
Okay, it's fine. Um, you're not sleeping a lot, are you? Or are you lacking sleep?
Um, well, if I could nap during the day, it's like a heavy, like my mouth is open. I'm exhausted, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I'm just thoroughly exhausted. I'm tired,
Yeah,
which is
it
normally
says
not
here, yeah.
like
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, okay. It says here poor drainage of lymphatics. I want to know what the lymph nodes are for. I am not a doctor, so I'm just doing this. Lymph nodes. Where are they? Large number of lymph nodes are linked throughout the body by the lymphatic vessels. So it's kind of like it's kind of tied to the nervous system, which totally makes sense with Neptune here. So there's the cervical lymph nodes here, um, thoracic duct somewhere here on the side here, the thymus just below the, I think what do you call it, the chest, just right here in the center.
Right.
Auxiliary lymph nodes, that's on the side, kind of by the breast. Spleen is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Lymphatics of the mammary gland.
Mm-hmm.
Cisterna chyli, I don't know how to pronounce that. Lumbar lymph nodes is sort of where the stomach is. Lymphatics of the upper limb. Um, here in the hands, but I don't feel like it's not tied to the hands at all. Pelvic lymph nodes. I feel like it's the lower nodes. So the pelvic lymph nodes, lymphatics of the lower limb, and the inguinal, I don't know, the lymph nodes.
Inguinal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's really down there because you said that you have been sitting for a while now. So, but I feel like it's something to do with draining because I'm seeing Pluto here, and Pluto often is tied to waste. So there's some sort of buildup, and because of the, I don't know, I feel like it's tied to the nervous system as well. But a lot of it is immune system related and the lymphatics. I feel like there's something tied to that. But because the what system is this? The lymphatic system is connected to the. I feel like is it actually connected to the nervous system? Oh, okay. I should. It's the adaptive immune system. So let's take a look at what that is. AIS, or acquired immune system, specific immune system, is a subsystem of the immune system that is composed of specialized cells, organs, and processes that eliminate pathogens specifically. So I guess see pathogens. There's something about pathogens. So um, I'm seeing that in the chart here. So yeah, what kind of detox are you doing now? Or have you been doing? Have you doing
Mm,
detox?
no, nothing.
Okay. Um, I highly recommend and do several kind of detox. Let me double check here. Right now, 2 degrees. Pluto is in 2 degrees Aquarius. Let's see what that if it's affecting anything here. Ah, okay. Ah, it is sextile to Venus right now, and Venus tends to represent kind of like it's kind of like comfort when we eat things that are kind of benign and we it I'm not saying you have a cyst. I'm not trying to scare you, okay?
Yeah, no,
But yeah, sometimes what happens is with Venus, it often represents kind of like tumor growth, or rather, it's just those little things. What do you call this? Something about health and beauty. Okay, so pathological expressions of Venus are rare. Okay, so that's a good thing. But because we have here, you have transiting uh, Pluto sextile Venus here, which is, by the way, just a term we use. It just means that you're gonna there's a sort of an effort that needs to be put into the working out, the exercising, walking. And it's Venus right now, it's in Sagittarius, and that signifies to me walking. And that's always the like sciatic nerve, lower back, hip, the thighs, they need to be moving. And when you put effort into that, there'll be more detox. And also detox from too much electricity, electromagnetic, EMF stuff. Get away from that. So if you can find a way to walk, even just around your house, just do walks. Make it a habit. Um, and yeah, I hope that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I can see here. I just noticed you have like Sun, Venus, in Scorpio. So do the whole Scorpio tendency of like, I don't just fuck it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I am a Scorpio too,
Yeah.
November
Right.
1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, God love me.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. So just go with it. Just go with. Yeah. So that's a big one, but also possibly I feel like the yeah, you I don't know. There's something about water and many like nutrients that maybe minerals and nutrients that you need in your body to help you flush things out. I don't know what kind of things are good for detox. Let me take a look at my other book. Cheating. No, this is part of astrology. That's fine. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have for Virgo. Because Virgo is your ascendant is in Virgo. We need to look at Virgo first because it basically talks about pretty much your whole body, your overall body, and your whole overall health. Okay. There's something about look at this timing. It says the adaptive immune system. Damn, I love this when this happens. Adaptive immune system here, awesome. So there's something about your white blood cells, your B cells, plasma cells, helper T cells, memory T cells, cytotoxic or killer T cells, histamine and cytokines, whatever. Let's take a look at the ones that have to do more with. I feel like the killer T cells are attacking Mars. Something about. Let's take a look at what's happening now. Where is Mars? Take a look at your natal Pluto with Uranus. That's in about 1922 degrees. Oh, okay. I feel like what you're also going through is partially hereditary because your Pluto Uranus here is actually square your nadir, which is the fourth. ICs represent technically core beliefs, but it's also the role you play in the family, like what you're expected to do. You were kind of very, well, you were kind of very active when you were young, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's, I feel like that's what's helping you. And usually what happens, this is this transition between when Scorpio is sometimes, because Scorpio is very inward looking. Doesn't, you know, I've met many Scorpios who are very like, they like to process things inside because they want things to be so cathartic, like beyond death to the death kind of thing. But what happens is as you progress and you get older, you sort of transition to closer to the Sagittarian, like freedom. I'm free now. Nothing's holding me back. I'm like the phoenix. You know, it's just I've risen. I went from the Scorpio to the eagle to the phoenix, and I've gone past all that, and be like, okay, that's fine. I can risk things without having to be scared or be frightened or anything like that. So I don't even look. I don't even know what your progression chart is showing, but it's showing me that what I'm seeing from myself, from my personal experience, this is why activity is very important once it goes past that line. So there's the lessons to be learned is to release yourself from all those things, especially any of the psychosomatic stuff from the past, because it's usually related to trust, trauma, power struggles, you name it. Any of that narcissistic sort of whatever stuff. Time to, when you get sick of it, you get sick of it, and you're just like, fuck it, and I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm gonna just risk, and just yeah, exactly. So movement is part of that. So that means getting that body movement, and that way it actually circulates back to the body, and goes like, bloop, I can release all that stuff, toxins. I don't know if you've ever tried yoga. Maybe that's a little dull,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's a good idea. I used to do yoga a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I could do that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Daily detox. When you do, I would recommend Iyengar yoga. Look up it's Iyengar. I don't know how to spell it. Something like that. I'll send you. I'll put it right here. Actually, I can't. I can't put it in here because I have to look it up on YouTube. It'll just distract. I'll send you the. I'll put a note on here. I'll send you this one thing that it's a 21-day challenge, and I still do it myself, even though it's 21 days. It's not over. I continue doing the exercises. It's by Schuyler Grant. It's a wonderful 21-day challenge process, and since you've done yoga, great. You have some experience. Go with this one. She does it slowly, so but again, I keep repeating it. So, but of course,
Yeah, I even forgot about that. Yeah, that's a smart idea. I never thought of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Um, what was I saying? Okay, so let's see what else we have here. So there's something about what did I see here? What's about yeah, because you want sort of like your body to create antibodies naturally. Um, let's see here. See, the helper T cells in the immune system, or what is it called? Adaptive immune system, is we these are like the muscles of the adaptive system. So that means they help to create antibodies. It says here, and macrophages to destroy ingested microbes. Uh, that kind of makes sense. I noticed here that in your chart, um, yeah, there's something about I don't know if your mom was going through some sort of excess stuff like inflammation in the womb, and there was something ingested or something about that. So it kind of ties into what your health has been, and sometimes things could be dormant, or sometimes because you were more active back then. I think your body just went, oh, okay, cool, we're good. But then as you become, as we get older, even myself, I'm like, as my swimming coach once says, As you get older, it just gets a little bit more challenging, but that's okay. It just means you go, you keep going, and you do the little things, right? Um, Memory T cells is part of this one. Let's see what the herbs might give you here. What herbs? Oh, down here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Virgo. See, nut liver. Mm, hmm. So you have a hard time sleeping? Rena, you have?
No, not a hard time. No, I
Okay.
usually sleep pretty good. I mean, if I didn't take a pill to sleep, I wouldn't sleep, but I
Oh,
take a pill to sleep.
okay, okay. Because there's this one herb called skullcap or Scutellaria lateriflora. Skullcap, basically, like skull and cap. It assists with anxiety, insomnia, and nervous disorders. Um,
Well, I should write that down because I mean, I definitely take a pill to sleep.
okay. I would still remember. I would still consult some kind of like professional, like a nutritionist, maybe. Your doctor might give you something else, depending on the doctor. If they're for all the natural stuff, great. My doctor is not really like that. This one sounds funny. It says marshmallow, but we're not talking about the sweet marshmallow. I'm talking about the plant. It says soothing to dry, inflamed mucous membrane of the digest. It helps with that. The inflamed mucous membrane of digestive and urinary tract, highly touted by herbalists for the Virgo malady, diverticulitis. Okay, interesting. Not that you have diverticulitis.
I
Um,
do.
oh,
Diverticulitis?
yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So marshmallow's good for that. So it's a good thing I mentioned
Okay.
it. Okay. Uh, okay, good. Do you have issues with the spleen?
Spleen, no.
Okay. Any intestinal or colonic bleeding ulcers? Because I don't feel like you do here.
That's diverticulitis,
Okay.
diverticulosis. Yeah, stomach issues,
Okay. So
GI issues.
okay, another herb that helps with that is called yellow dock, like dock boat docks. Yeah. Um, Another one that helps with restlessness or anxiety or irritability or insomnia is hops. It's called hops.
Hmm.
Yeah. Another one for digestive stuff. One of the best digestive aids and cooling to bile moving bitters. They're just called bitters. It's called gentian. Gentian.
Hmm.
Your autonomic nervous system. Did I mention that earlier? Yeah, it could be, but I feel like it's the adaptive nervous system there. But it could be autonomic nervous system. Mugwort. Look that up. I would kind of look up again. Do a bit of research on this one, and I know you do. You can. That's a very Scorpio thing. Um, it says here specific to asthma and a wide variety of stubborn intestinal complaints. Gallbladder clearance, liver assistance, skin issues, eczema, and diabetes. But because hmm, we're talking about Saturn here, so it's still skin. Um, yeah, another thing similar to mugwort. I don't know if it's that strong, but still do your research on it. It's called black cumin seed oil.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Anything to do with pancreas? No pancreas stuff.
No.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I thought. I was like, interesting. Okay, and those are the herbs for Virgo. Because you have a lot of placements in Virgo here. Um, so I feel like that's also what's causing the head, because I feel like it's tied to if it's the head specifically, like headache, right now what I'm seeing is it's tied to the magnetism. If there's too much of that going on, then it might affect your head. But again, I don't know. I feel like the head is more related to because your immune system is not flowing. Like there's usually when there's too much Saturn, what happens is there's not flow. There's the lack of flow. So it's kind of like freezing it, so to speak. It's kind of holding it back, and it's not really flowing. Right? So
Okay.
that's what I see here. Um, Another one is typically here is because 4 degrees Pele. Hmm, let me see. 1 second. Other chart. No, that one's. I feel like the headaches are more. It's tied to. It's tied to the family. Do your families have headaches quite often? Is it kind? Does it? Do you feel it runs in the family, like migraines?
Well, I know my son does, and I think my mother used to.
Okay. Because it's in Libra, and usually what that means is if there's, it's a
I mean, I
pH.
get migraines, I know that.
Okay. Feel it's tied to pH balance. The Libra syndrome here with, I'm seeing another asteroid here called Pele. Not that that's important, but it's tied to the Libra syndrome, which is usually Libra signifies um, issues late in life. They're not necessarily like Libra's sun. We're talking about people with sun in Libra. Yours is Scorpio, but because of your Libra placements here, with that's another reason why you're probably also getting a headache. Um, is because there's something that's, I guess, yeah, it's not. It's your pH levels. pH levels is usually alkaline acidity in your body,
Hmm.
so that could also be a buildup. I don't know if because I get gout, or I don't really get gout. I'm careful of it. So what I do is I drink a lot of water. I don't sleep late. I try not to sleep late, and I try to reduce any sort of stress on the stress hormones. I don't, it's called the endocrine system. There's other parts. There's other systems where stress is connected to. So I try to reduce any stress because any stress, specifically de-stress, not eustress, increases cortisol levels. And what it does, apparently, it causes inflammation, or rather, uric acid first, uric acid buildup. So maybe your pain is not necessarily gout per se, but it could be uric acid buildup. So if you're not flushing it out, again, toxins, and at the same time, if you're not sleeping earlier than normal, if you're not detoxing, if you're like I don't watch the news. I try to get away from any sort of stress levels, anything else. I also do the Wim Hof method, and that one is so good. It literally there's the breathing portion, and then there's the cold therapy, and then I just do it all the time. It's kind of like a three-part process, but basically it's good for so many things: alkalizing the blood, natural painkiller, DMT access, oxygenating the blood, because the pH level goes up. It's good for the immune system, okay, and brings
And
in
what is it? Wind pop?
Wim Hof, WIM, and then HOF is his last name. Method.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure you'll be okay with cold, right? You like the cold.
No, I don't.
Oh, because
I'm
of
sitting here with the blanket on. No, I don't. I hate
uh,
it.
even as a kid, I'm sure. Okay, probably got so used to that. Okay, well, you have your. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Your Mercury is in Gemini. Yeah, it's
Hate the cold. Hate
mm,
it. Hate it.
interesting. Hmm. 15. What is that? 6 degrees. Trying to see what a Scorpio. It's very interesting.
Well, it says I like the cold.
No,
Oh,
it could, but because of your moon, placement in Gemini,
they're full
uh,
of shit if it says.
yeah, but also because of your Mars placement and your Pluto placements, it's influenced by Virgo. That totally makes sense why you don't really like the cold. In fact,
Yeah, I hate the
but
cold.
it's but there's a magic that I noticed about the cold. I used to hate the cold, but I also used to hate like extreme heat. Actually, I prefer the cold now because when I do the cold and I get out of it and I kind of basically match my body temperature with the outside. Like right now, it's what is it right now? Minus, I think today was like -7, -6 Celsius. I think that's like 20, 30 Fahrenheit or something like that. I don't know. And so when I do that, I'm totally fine outside. My hands are kind of like the only exception. They do freeze up, but
Ugh.
other than that, I'm totally fine. Yeah.
And where are you at?
Oh, Canada, like north,
Oh,
like
okay.
16, 20 hours drive northeast of Vancouver.
Ugh, yeah, no, it's like 20 degrees here in Pennsylvania, and it's disgustingly too cold for me. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess the way to go about the Wim Hof method is instead of looking at the end goal of what it could achieve, look at like what you can do with it first. They said just do several, like 1 or 2 rounds of the breathing, then jump into the shower, like your warm shower, whatever it is. But do like 5 seconds of cold and make that a habit. Then your body will adapt to it eventually, and then you'll make it either you make it the water, the cold water colder or longer. And it'll just be a natural thing. Just listen to your body. Always listen to your body. That's part of the whole. It's also a spiritual journey. When we're honoring the body, the physical body, it helps us too. There's a little magic that comes with the whole cold shower, by the way. And that I noticed this myself. One, I was able to really surrender and meditate really well, where to the point where it's just because it trains the body, the nervous system to respond to eustress, so healthy shock, because it's like, and then you just breathe through it, and that's it. It's not like an ongoing like I'm going to not the stories in our head, that kind of shock. It's good. It's
Right.
eustress, not de-stress. It trains your body to respond to it, so you surrender to the moment. Wonderful stuff. But at the same time, over time, what I did was since I've been doing mediumships for about a year and a half now, on and off, um, it literally brought up clairs. Literally, like first I was just like many people have claircognizance. It's a kind of a natural
Mhm.
thing. Then you expand onto clairvoyance, apparently, or clairaudience and then clairvoyance. But then one came, so I have all three now. Like I'm able to access that now. I also have now this one. I can
Mhm.
smell things, right? Taste is rare. I don't think that's ever happened before. Sentience, this whole skin thing, and then there's also clear empathy, which is you probably I feel stronger like when you touch things. I think so. Those are different things, but they do expand because cold does that. Because what
Oh,
happens is,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I'll try that. Yeah.
So
I'm into trying anything. I'll try anything.
okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay,
Anything for mediumship. That sounds great.
okay, awesome. Well, I mean, yeah, cool. Okay. um, yeah. So there's that. I don't think I need to mention the other stuff too. There is a tie to some sort of hereditary thing. Um, watch out for also like certain relationships that kind of. I don't know if you do any shadow work on the side or have been doing shadow work.
I'm
Um,
trying.
okay. There's this. It's tied to the physical as well. Um, what it's showing me here, because of your descendant in Pisces, um, there's a lot of wounding that comes with that sort of it's retrograde, so that means it's constantly happening in your life, ongoingly,
Mm.
because it means that you're here to strengthen your the integrating the potential for you to integrate this balance between Pisces and Virgo archetypal energy, or rather experiences, which actually means that when you were growing up, I feel like maybe your the family, the environment you were in, could be family, could be neighbors, relatives, whatever. They tended to be kind of there was a certain aloofness about them, and because Saturn is tied here as well, they weren't there. It's almost like they weren't there for you to nourish you on a spiritual level, but also at a more cathartic level, which resonates a lot with your Scorpio, your heart here. Um, it's almost like I need some depth, I need some meaning. So what happened was there was a part of you that kind of just like, well, maybe they were just too. I don't know if they were too religious or they were too very what do you call this, preachy, or very that kind. That's the shadow of Pisces. Is very idealistic. Um, what happens here is that the child, as they realize this, they realize, oh, um, I don't want that. I want something a little bit more factual. I want something more grounded. I want something that I can make use of. Because they were just all yada yada, probably a little, maybe a lot of talking, a lot of,
Mhm.
maybe they're also probably not only too sensitive, but also indecisive. So there's probably a lot of that stuff. So what happened was your shadow, your inner child started going, if there was some sort of, which I believe there was some sort of trauma related to that. Um, it's, or at least power struggles. So what happened was there's a resistance that the child, the subconscious goes into. It's like, nope. So what happens with that, from a shadow work perspective, every now and then you might encounter that in any form of relationship, people you meet, right? So could be anyone. I would say I feel like here it's tied to grandparents, something about grandparents or your parents. Well, it is grandparents, so it says here that one, two, yeah, your parents' parents. I don't know if it was your father's grandparents or your father's parents. There's something about that, or something weird. Something. Am I ringing a bell here? Does that make sense?
I always thought it was my parents, but I'm not sure.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Or maybe, or my mother's parents. I don't know.
Okay, okay. There's something about that. So what's happening is that on a medical level, on a physical level, what's happening if that doesn't get integrated into your whole self, because we live in a fractal universe. So in order to grow and expand, in order to get something more, or rather in order to be more perfect than perfect already, we need to break down. We need to we need to fragment. But the ego doesn't like fragmentation. The ego wants to be secure, wants to be like, I want to maintain in my, especially us as humans, we're mammalian creatures, right? So, and I know you probably heard about this, but we're also hybrids, anyways. So, we weren't necessarily meant for this planet. There was a
Mhm.
video, a podcast I saw that apparently, I think it was through Bashar. Bashar answered this question in one of the transmissions he did. I think this year or last year. There was someone who asked, is the Sasquatch related to us? I'm like, yes. And Bashar said, you know Bashar.
Mhm.
He said that we were supposed to technically evolve into a Sasquatch, but because there was crossbreeding stuff in the hybridization programs going on, mostly apparently with the Greys going on with us, what happened was we became like this. So no hair, completely defenseless, in this planet, and just like, what the fuck? Like seriously? So exactly. So the point I'm making is it's I guess that we're doing that to kind of part of do. I guess it's supposed to test our, you can say, our resolve, so to speak, like our galactic resolve, if that makes sense. It's supposed,
Right.
yeah, because we don't really survive well in this world, on this planet. We rely on tools a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that can be a
Right.
gift too. That can be a gift too, because we're using tools now. We're learning that it's like many humans are shifting and going like, wait a second, we've been using their tools in a sort of not wrong. I don't like to use the terms right and wrong. I like to use I don't even like to use positive negative. I like to use expansive and constrictive. So the
Mm-hmm.
constrictive side of things
Right.
tend to be very like when you're having anger or you're any sort of lower emotional vibration and stuff like this, it feels that's constrictive, right? And it's okay to go through that because it's very just right here. But when we allow space for that, it comes. So on a physical level, that's part of the shadow stuff. So I feel like for you, it's very important that you do go through specifically inner child stuff because the Pluto is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto is a big thing. Pluto is about power struggles, trauma, the use, abuse, and misuse of power, according to Judy Hall. This is another astrologer. Um, right, a lot of I'm seeing here also the asteroid Narcissus here. It's conjunct your, it's in your first house. So, where is it? Yeah, it's tied to family. There's some sort of stuff. Maybe you forgot it too. I don't know. Do you remember a lot of your childhood, or you don't?
Not really.
That's why. So there's a subconscious going like shutting it down, and it was just kind of shut off, and then yeah, there's
Hmm.
narcissism in the family, and it's okay. Narcissism has technically a gift behind it. I know that's a little too controversial, especially still today within the spiritual community. They're like, what? You could be a narcissist? No, not necessarily narcissist, but trying to build confidence within yourself, like knowing exactly what you want. What is this is why empaths tend to attract narcissists. One of my coaches, you've heard of Aaron Doughty?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he has this program that follows Bashar's stuff with a bunch of stuff, including Neville Goddard's revision process. He says the reason we latch on to things that are even toxic relationships or that we don't manifest, yada yada, all that stuff, is because we keep in our energetic field. In other words, um, our memories of the past, we latch onto those because it's familiar.
Right.
And
Makes sense.
exactly, and something that's even familiar, even if it's like shit we're eating put in our mouths, literally shit. It's like, oh, this is familiar, but it's bad. But it's familiar, but it's bad, but it's familiar. Seriously? Look at the contradiction. Exactly. So why would want to do that? Why? Right. So yeah. So sorry you do embody Pluto. I love to add humor here. So thing. So you do embody the Pluto energy with Uranus's energy. So what happens is that's like actually a gift for you. You're technically good at getting rid of waste. If you when you do that, you can do that. Plus your Scorpio placement, that's totally fine. So when you do it little by little, good. You do the little things, right? Not it doesn't have to be completely like a shock, right? Although if you like the shock factor, just make sure it's not de-stress, it's eustress, right? So yeah, so you can get rid of waste easily, and including waste as in people's energies at their current state of consciousness, as Eckhart Tolle puts it, does not resonate with yours, right? So it's just, yeah, it's okay. I've burned a lot of bridges myself. So,
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
well, I don't know. I
if
think,
if you don't serve me, I'm opening my mouth late anymore.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
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 that's how I feel.
yeah.
If it's
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is.
Yeah, and that's
Opening my
okay.
mouth.
That's okay. That I think we're all in this journey together, and we are all together, but at the same time we are unique. So the path that you're in is exactly where you need to be. And even if you take, it's like Bashar puts it. He says it's like the dice method, where if you roll the dice, or if you sorry, not dice. You toss the coin toss analogy. If you choose one, actually, it's not even an analogy. It's just if you do a coin toss, and if you get one side, you choose that. But then you start realizing, oh, I wanted the other anyway. There's your answer. Even if you pick out of the four choices, you decide on one of them, and you're like, no, because your soul will know what it resonates with. So if you feel like you resonated with getting rid of, like shoo, pew pew, whatever people,
Hmm.
fine. They may come back, they may not. That's fine.
Yeah, I just want love in my life. I don't want meanness. I think that's how I feel. I want love. I
Yeah,
don't want mean, yeah, I just want love.
I understand that. And yeah, uh, I notice here a beautiful thing about your past life. You have Amalthea. You have a lot of abundant inner power within you. It's very abundant. I notice here. Amalthea was she was kind of like I don't know what she was, like a nurse or kind of I guess you could say a wet nurse. What do you call that? There's a term for it. To Zeus in the mythology. So that's showing me a lot of abundance, like the cornucopia. There's a lot. She represents harvesting as well, milk, that kind of stuff. So you must have been some kind of a nurse in a past life. So what that usually means is that if you were helping others that way, this life you're meant to kind of more like, no, I want to help myself, and that's okay.
I
It's
did that in this life too.
exactly. There you go. Right. So that kind of stuff. So and it's your in your north nodes. Your nodes, what they represent in astrology is excess and release. So the north node represents things that are coming through for you, and then things that you're releasing in the past. From a medical standpoint, medical astrology standpoint, um, it means that it's tied to the excretory system. That's why we talked about that, and also reproductive system. So if you are enjoying food more, or if you're appreciating food, make sure that you're putting things in your body that is actually truly good for you, right? That it's still enjoyable, it's still good, it's still healthy. You can People sometimes think, right, healthy food is like, yeah. I was gradually becoming vegan, and people like, people still today. There's some people in the world who ask, "Do you just eat lettuce and all that stuff and all like salads?" Like, no. Like, there's other proteins. So it's like, so what I mean, there's a misconception. There's a But the point
Right.
is, whatever you resonate with, you listen to the body. It will tell you as well.
Hmm.
It's part of the spiritual experience. Um, so that's that with the headaches. There is. Hold on, let me go back into the eighth house here. Yeah, it's tied to your. So I believe when you were younger, you did have. Was there a lot more like deep-seated anger?
Oh, hell yeah. I still have a lot of anger.
Yeah. Okay, that totally makes sense here. You have here the Typhon here in your eighth house, and what Typhon represents is that a lot of inflammation, a lot of, and you know what anger does? It constricts the body. It basically just makes it like basically non-functional because it's a very constricting energy.
Hmm.
Let me double check here. Okay, here we go. Um, what is it medically speaking? And I want to pinpoint stuff in your eighth house right here because I feel like it's connected to this. Okay, so I'm just gonna read all of them. Okay, because I
Hmm.
base it off of the mythology, and it's always usually 90% of the time. It's like, oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll see. um, maybe nothing to do with the hair. I don't know if you've ever gotten split ends. The head is part of this as well. The cheeks, the jaws, the tongue, limbs, joints. That's the one we kind of talked about. I don't know if it's a joint thing. Waist. Um, any shaking in the body. That's kind of the Uranus thing. I don't know if maybe you had it when you were younger. Any sort of seizure. Um,
Mm-mm.
let's see. specifically because of many reasons, like seizure. Like there's different types. I'm seeing. I did research on it. Focal seizure, generalized seizure, focal aware seizure, focal impaired awareness, non-motor, motor, cognitive, emotional, focal to bilateral, tonic, or clonic. So those are the reasons for there's different
Mm-mm.
reasons. Yeah, epilepsy, also something lighter, gashes or wounds. That one that's kind of common. Okay. Let's see here. And then we have Python. So here, tear ducts and tears. Lacrimation, the lacrimal gland. I forgot what that is. I think it's in the eyes. Globus sensation, glottis, larynx, complex secretomotor function, or conjunctivitis. Not that you had this, I'm just going to say pink eye, or redness of the eyes. Adrenocorticotropic hormones, quivering lips, runny nose. That's kind of okay. If you get a cold, you get a runny nose. Okay. Cracking voice. Um, we did say here sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. We talked about that already. Inflammation, depression, vitamin D deficiency. Let's see here. And then we have Thor. Let's see here. He is also the head, so it could be like headaches as well, but mainly the head area. Let's see, 1 second. When you see the video, you'll see it later probably if you watch it. Scrolling a lot. Okay, he's about strength. So in this case, feels like because it's retrograde, it's almost like you probably didn't. I don't know what it is. Maybe something to do with children. Maybe your children. Did, did they was there? Did they get affected by anything like that with strength? Like were they have any trouble walking, weight, height? I feel like
No, my one was just born 3 weeks early, but
okay,
no, they were.
okay, that's fine. There's those things I mentioned. There's also sniggering or giggles. It has something to do with that. Mood or moodiness, urges of any kind, stomach grumbling, starvation or extreme hunger, eating and drinking, like literally not just drinking water, right? Feasting, um, eating then sleeping, post-consumption rest or consumption and defecation. So feces and or fertilizer, digestive cycle, energy cycle, any sort of toxins like venom, poison, um,
Hmm.
red eyes, that's coming up again. Pale complexion, pale skin. Oh, this is kind of blonde hair. That's kind of obvious. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like this has to do with something. Hold on, let me double check. This is tied to a past life. Um, I feel like it is somehow. Something like a blow to the head or something. Head wounds. Or maybe head wound. Or concussion. Or bites. People get bites every now and then. It's a little general. Um, anyways, okay. I just thought I'd put that in there because you never know what you're going to get. That's fine. Doesn't apply to you. I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Astrology is a language of probability. So that means even if you don't get something here, it just means you didn't take that path to get to that path to get to that path, whatever. Right? So it's fine.
Hmm.
Um, okay, let's look at Basti here. Bastet. She is Bastet. Have you heard of Bastet, the Egyptian goddess? It's a
Mm-mm.
cat. She was about like pacification and anger. That kind of makes sense. Like I feel like yeah, that's why maybe there's a part of it that didn't. It was hard to remember your early childhood, especially like the formative years, 0 to 8, 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you? I feel like I don't know if you had eczema back then or skin allergies. Um,
Yeah, I think I had like pimples or, like some kind of like acne or probably something. Yeah.
okay, okay, cool. Um, no food or eating addictions, nothing, right? 'Cause I don't see that.
No, I always worried about my weight though.
Okay, that makes sense. Uh, Fasting is part of this one too. You can fast. I don't know if you do fasting. Um, I don't know if you had alcohol poisoning too. Maybe I don't know if it's tied to the womb.
Alcohol poisoning, I probably drank myself to alcohol.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I do know that when it comes to eating, I don't know how much of it has changed, but you still snack, don't you?
Uh,
No?
I really don't eat a lot. I
Yeah,
don't
so
eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
that totally makes sense. Yeah. That's a
So like a snack, like I'll eat like a brownie for breakfast, like if you call that snacking, but I really don't like to eat.
uh-huh, that's
I
totally
should
yeah, I see.
I should eat better. Yeah, like I don't like to eat.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna see what your moon has progressed into. 1 second here. Okay, 1 second. Moon has progressed into Leo. Oh, you don't really like to eat, but you do like sweets, or at least you've enjoyed them more now. For the
Right.
yeah,
I never used to, but I like them now, right?
yeah. That's usually what it is. So yeah, so it's okay. What do you call this? Yeah,
Well, you could really get to know somebody here.
yeah. It's just those little things I encountered in myself and others. Just like, that's interesting. Because that's the trick about astrology. It's like as you do this more and more, you get to know every planet, and then you get to know the archetypal energies because you
That's
see it in yourself.
amazing.
Sorry.
I said, "This is amazing how that they that knows. How could that know? Like they know that about you. That's just it's just astounding,
Yeah,
you know?
I've wondered about
Astounding.
that too. I feel like there's some sort of alignment. Because I do know that astrology was introduced to humans. It's not something that, well, partially I think humans kind of came up with it a little bit, but the main idea behind it, the math, I'm going to call it the mathology behind it, and how the planets are moving, because everything has consciousness, right? So there's something about that. So I don't know, but yeah,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Mm. Let's see here. Okay, well, we're gonna go away from that whole moon thing because those are more like your taste buds and all that stuff. But let's see what else we have here. Sixth house, we have Coronis. Okay, so Coronis represents, sounds a lot like Corona, right?
Right.
Yeah, Cronus is. I do know that we. By the way, I want to say this. This is. I feel it very important because of your moon. Because of your specifically your Pluto. It's in uh, Virgo, and it's in actually the 12th house, but it's actually affecting this first house more. What's happening is there is a part of you that I feel for you. It's more from childhood, but I feel like you do sense this at a more maybe little bits and pieces of your body. There's something instinctive that you sense that at least before where you you probably, I don't know if it still happens today, but I would say could still happen today. But there's a strong tendency to step away from anything that might you know affect your health. Even though part of you said I drank before, I drank myself, yada, all that stuff, but it was still, I would say, in moderation. Um, but that's the Virgo thing. Virgo energy tends to be about, it worries about not, I don't want to get sick. That's basically the Virgo thing. I want it to be pure,
Hmm.
right? And that is, but there's, but it's not as strong as a Scorpio energy. For you, it's more like, it's okay. I can I can take risks, that stuff. So plus your moon in Gemini shows me that you have that curious drive. But you also have because of your Sun Venus placement in the second house and your Moon placement in the ninth house, I feel like you're quite balanced when it comes to the decisions you make. Like, not what is it, balance, not perfect. I don't mean perfect. I mean like just enough for you. So I feel like that has an impact on what you decide for your health. Um, because you did say, first of all, one was like, I'm worried, I worried, or I used to worry a lot, or I do watch out for how much I eat, yada yada, etc. You did say that, so that totally makes sense. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but what I think the reason I mentioned that is because what was I saying here? Sorry, one second. Is because it's okay to acknowledge that as part of the shadow work. And it's just like, okay, well, I am like for me, I can speak for myself. I can only speak for myself mainly. That when the pandemic came, I was just like, I was deathly scared. I was just like, oh, the sense of security was so affected, right? It's like, oh, shit. Like, I isolated. I didn't really talk to anyone. I cleaned the fuck out of things. It was just like, I wasn't cleaning per se. I was just disinfecting a lot. Not cleaning. It was different.
Right.
Yeah. Before I was more like a clean freak. And then I stopped cleaning like anally. I just it went from cleaning becoming like a clean freak to becoming like disinfectant freak. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I can understand. So I don't know. Do you still do that? I feel like you kind of do a little bit, right?
Am I a clean freak OCD type person?
Yeah. Well, we call it
Oh
OCD,
yeah.
but whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
am.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My boyfriend is kind of the same way. He's more like not disinfecting. He's more like just cleaning. He wants to make sure his, but he has a dog, and he every time he has new sheets, it's like his dog just climbs up there. It's like ah, oh. And there's a bone on the bed. It's like what? And then I'm just like, you have a dog. It's gonna be still connected to its instincts. So, and there's a reason for that. Energetically speaking, your dog is teaching you something too. So, yeah.
Yeah, we just got a puppy, and I'm like, okay, the dog might have like, did something like, I don't know, something. I'm like, okay, Lynn, just relax. It's a puppy. The house is not gonna like burn down because the puppy did this, or, a noodle fell on the floor. Just relax. You can clean it. Like I'm trying to like work through the anxiety because something's not in order. I'm like, just relax.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. And yeah, yeah, they're there to teach us stuff that we never knew. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. That's you hearing that. That's good. That's cool. Oh, so yeah, okay. So Coronis back here. I want to go back to them. So there could be usually Coronis is hidden things, invisible symptoms or conditions, um, slow or impaired wound healing, medicine in general, uh, posthumous births. Miracle births. Interesting. Don't know if that happened to you. Oh,
What is
cesarean. Sorry, go ahead.
what's no, I didn't have anything like that.
I think posthumous is you're born after the carrier has passed away. I think because posthumously speaking, like when someone has passed away, we honor them. There's like a plaque for them. That's posthumous. That's how I understand it. I don't know. It's a big word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Any cesarean pregnancies? I feel like
No.
no. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So that means no incisions or anything like that. Resuscitation. Were you resuscitated?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Autonomic nervous system is coming back up here again. Okay. Um,
Mm.
neuroplasticity, the neurons in your head, in the brain. So neurons, neurogenesis, synapses. Um, this one's kind of crazy. Autoimmune diseases, right? Invisible ones like fibromyalgia, chronic pain, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, celiac disease, lupus, Sjogren's syndrome, migraine.
Trojan.
Okay,
Mhm.
Crohn's disease, Alzheimer's, dementia, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, dyslexia, traumatic brain injury, anxiety disorders, borderline personality disorder, depression, PTSD, and schizophrenia. Again, the way I see it, these are labels, right? Your soul knows what to do with that. So we all live in a loony bin. In fact, you know, the world is loony right now. Like, so,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
so that's fine. What we're seeing is probably most likely just different, and that's totally fine. So that's the Cronus. So that's part of your sixth house placement. Um, Heimdall. I want to see if there's anything I haven't missed here. 1 second. He's usually about boundaries. Okay. Pineal gland, skin, auric field, electromagnetic field. Okay, that ties in with the Uranus placement. Again, the head is part of this one. Ears and the eyes. So I feel like, no, I think I've already mentioned that. The whole, let me see, it's
Mhm.
tied to Mars. Uh, yeah, the electromagnetic field is a big one. We talked about that. Oh, because it's tied to Virgo. Virgo is usually about habits. It's tied to doing things on a habitual basis. So, but what that usually does is when you get used to something so much, it becomes an unconscious behavior. So that means that whenever you do whatever you do, and Heimdall here is actually tied to Mars trying your north node. It means that you're continuously learning to be more conscious about what you put in your body, especially with the Taurus placement. Taurus is about pleasure. Taurus is about the senses, pleasure, ease, leisure. So, especially when you're also, more, you're filling your cup more, you know, um, it's good to also, I feel like you are doing that already. You're becoming more conscious about what you put in your body. That's totally fine. So, I'm just saying that's part of it. Let's see what the transits say. So Cronus here is the one that's transiting your eighth house with Chiron. So that explains the immune system related stuff. But the moon here, it's not gonna last that long. It will come back. Moon transits every sign every 2 3 days, 3 4 days, approximately. But with the other asteroids here, Cronus and Phaethon, watch out for inflammation, specifically of the ears, nose, and throat. Okay. Um, and because it's retrograde, it's kind of a focus to watching out for things that I wouldn't say necessarily watching out for it, but it's uh, Cronus is also about hidden gifts. Cronus is about things that abilities that we have that we might have forgotten, and you're just like, oh. So if you tap into those abilities that you have, which I know you do have here, it comes from your past life, your south notice and your third house. It's to me that signifies your ability to sense things at a very visceral, literally through your gut kind of level. You're able to sense it. So you have parts of your Mercury in Sagittarius, your Neptune in Scorpio, plus it's tied to the South Node, or at least the South Node is in third house. Third house represents taken for granted skills. Use that. Find those things. You have all that ability. Instead of just using it for, sorry if I sound blunt, by the way. So instead of just using it for, let's, because Neptune is usually tied to spirituality, right? And your Mercury in Sagittarius often represents very highly intuitive, very like you can sense things, right? Use that also for doing it for yourself. What is it sending me? What is my instinct and intuition both telling me? So trust the body, basically. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That was a lot for the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go into then the heart. There's a lot more I feel that was what I see here for the heart. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. So, okay, let's because I kind of I've kind of dove into the bigger planets, the common ones, all the way from the Sun to Pluto. Those are the big ones. So I'm going to work with the asteroids directly with the heart. We're going to start with your 12th house because I feel that's important in terms of what you picked up in the womb. So we have here Psyche. Yes, she is the heart, but is she was, Eros. You know the word Eros. You've heard of this term.
Mm-mm.
The word erotic comes from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eros is There's a misnomer about Eros. He's like, oh, it's erotic. It's love, earthly love. Actually, it's not. It is, but at the same time, Eros in the mythology um, was in a relationship with Psyche, and Psyche was this human being who later became deified, I believe, and she is about unconditional love. So Eros kind of works with that. They work in conjunction together usually. It's basically like ethereal love. It's very like pure. It's very innocent. It's very just unconditional. Um, so why did I mention that? Yeah. So I'm just saying that's why we have the word psyche, the word psychic, like psyche. It's something that has no boundaries. It's like when you open yourself up. That's psyche. Eros is that whole. So it's kind of like a mixture of fifth dimension to the third dimension. It's kind of like both, like the fish and the bird, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. So Psyche is um I don't know if you had in the womb. No, okay. Digestive system or stomach area. I don't know if you had that sort of stuff. Something to do with your dopamine as well, oxytocin, the vagus nerve, androgens, maybe lower blood pressure. Um, Immune system is coming back up here again. Mm, maybe your mom was in a very heightened mood when she had you, or something about hormones as well. Um, your mom wasn't addicted to anything, was she?
No,
Okay,
no, she never drank or smoked
okay, okay,
her entire life.
okay. There is also the pineal gland here, so I feel like that one is that's 5 degrees second. Where's your? So that's the one you. That's in the womb. Do you? I don't know if you still find any of your psychic abilities challenging to access.
Mm-hmm.
You do? Okay. That's from your
Yeah.
mom. That's from the side there. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But challenges doesn't necessarily mean that it won't happen. It's just it's one thing to practice it. It's another thing to um, use the physical body to access that. That's why I did say, um, yeah, try the Wim Hof method. I know you don't like the cold, but
Oh, I'm gonna try it.
okay, okay, cool. Let's see here. There's also Cyrene. Cyrene is like the sirens, like you know about the sirens, not the wing wing wing.
Mhm.
They're they're called sirens for a reason, like the one when cops come by or ambulances or fire trucks. Um, the sirens were basically like kind of like mermaids, and they sang and they lulled um, sailors to their death.
Mhm.
um, so they're tied to anything from like the neck, throat, eyes, ears, vocal cords, and yes, the heart as well, and reproductive system, skin, hair. Um, I feel like that one's tied to what you also picked up in the womb. Okay, let's see here. Tyr is the Norse god of war, technically. Mm, so your mom was healthy, but I feel like there was also an infection. Remember I told you about the toxins through Pluto?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was an infection there. My mom had that. Like she had an infection. I guess you can say she was sick, and then when she had me, and then it affected the the growth process. So I ended up with a lip. What do you call that? Cleft palate sort of thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was born with that.
Hmm.
Um, Nutrients is a part of this one. Um, I don't know if they had to resuscitate her. Of course, they had to jumpstart the heart. Any sort of defibrillators was in the
Hmm.
hospital. I don't know. So, not that she had a heart attack. I don't see heart attack here. I'm just because it's not. There's no.
Mhm.
It's not Leo here. Hold on. Let me take a look at the sun. Sorry. No, there isn't any. Okay, you can see. So that's that. And then the first house we have Hebe. She was the goddess of eternal youth. So naturally she's tied to nails, collagen. Okay, anything that off anything where collagen is, exists in the body. Um, I don't know if amino acids is part of this one. I don't know what amino acids are. Do you know? Are you familiar with this term, amino acids? I've heard of them, but
Amino acids, though, could be a toxin too.
oh, okay, okay, there. You go. And there's also the fibrillar or non-fibrillar um, part of the cardiac skeleton of the heart, something to do with the heart, right? So,
A
uh, that's for the yeah,
defibrillator.
that's for the heart, like the one that goes, and
Yeah,
yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
Not earlier, yes, but not this one. But
Oh,
could be cardiac. It is, yeah, I guess, because that's why it's defibrillator because it's something to do with the heart too. So it's related, but not the machine itself. But yeah, it's called fibrillar. It's a fibrillar part. It's a part of the cardiac skeleton. So the area that protects the heart, not the ribs.
hmm,
Yeah, it's called skeleton, but it's not really skeleton. I don't think so.
hmm.
Yeah. Um, Something also about the extracellular matrix or ECM, tissue regeneration. I don't know if that was part of that one. Um, Maybe there was because it's 22 degrees. Wondering. 1 second here. Oh no. If anything, that's something to do with the family line. I'm not sure. I don't see that here. As there wasn't an issue with that one. Um, Something about the throat. I don't know. I don't think that was part of that one. It says here vocal cords, the hymen, anus, vocal cords. I just repeated that. Yeah, nope, that's that one. Let's see, alecto. Okay, lateral orbitofrontal cortex, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. I forgot what that part is. Catechol- catecholamine activation, like
Hmm?
norepinephrine and epinephrine, something to do with that.
Hmm.
Heart rate, blood pressure, flushing in the face, um, flaring of nostrils, tensing of jaws, inward and downward movement of the brow muscles, raised arms, kind of like this kind. So these are parts of, I believe, that could be part of that. But that's just kind of. It sounds like something you would do every day. I know. Do you go through any sort of like any hallucinations?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. This one's a big one. Detoxification.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna really have to look into that.
yeah, that one's repeating itself. Detoxification, liver, kidneys, digestive tract, lymphatic system. That one's a big one. And the
Hmm.
toxin, lymphatic system, the toxins. Yeah, I don't know if it has anything to do with spasms because your nervous system is in the first house. So, but as long as you detox, it'll flow. The blood will flow, right? And yes, the Wim Hof method, or rather the cold shower. It's not cold shower per se. It's called cold therapy, right? Because it's a very natural element. It's available, right? So, Okay, and then and then we're gonna go specifically into narcissus here. Okay, so narcissus, I believe, has something to do with the head and face, a heart. Okay, reptilian and limbic system. Okay, I feel like because it says here the reptilian and limbic system, maybe accessing childhood memories as well is probably going to help with this one. Not that you need to remember your childhood memories, stuff like that, but there's something there. There's something because it's psychosomatic, right? We don't know how we don't really know how powerful the subconscious is, um, biologically speaking. But the way I've
Mm-hmm.
learned it is that the subconscious, yes, is so-called deep here, but actually it's not really deep there. It is connected to the lizard brain, or the reptilian brain, way down here. It's very tiny. It's the oldest part of the brain. That's the theory behind it. But the way I also see the subconscious is because it's the oldest part of the brain, and if you think older, it means that it's also less dense. Meaning, if you think about the formation of planets, right? Before planets form, the sun is born, and then there's dust or debris, and then planets form. That's the theory behind it. Totally makes sense in terms of an energetic level and spiritual level as well. So that means when it becomes denser, as it becomes as it goes in through time or linear time, it becomes denser and denser and denser and denser. Therefore, it becomes, it's the time is. Do you see what I mean? There's a correlation
Yeah.
between the time and the density, and therefore, it's not as. What was I getting at there? It's not as. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's not as
Yeah. No,
knowledgeable. Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. It's not as knowledgeable
Yeah.
as it would. Yeah. So the
Mm-hmm.
subconscious is also actually out there. Even Bashar says that. I think you've heard this,
Mm-hmm.
right? He says it's out there. It's not actually down here. It's not sub. But being that the case, it means that when we go into our inner child stuff, um, we know more about it. That can and it can do so much for us because we're gradually healing, so that when we move into the future in a linear perspective, from a linear perspective, we're not adding on to more the trauma that we experienced before. And at the same time, we're healing that past. So we're actually clearing it off. It's almost like that whole detox thing. We're energetically detoxing, we're spiritually detoxing, we're chronologically detoxing, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good thing, right? So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
What other thing do I see here? Okay. Charoklo. Here, Charoklo is usually she's the one usually tied to healing. She was the wife of the centaur. Um, what do you call this? Centaur. A centaur is half horse, half man. Um, she wasn't. I don't think she was a centaur. She was human. So the point of it is the mythology is showing that she was about compassion, basically. So she always helped people. She gave a lot of care to others. Yours is in retrograde, so that means that I think that healing is more inwards related, right? Naturally, kind of obvious right now. But she is tied to the skin, nervous system, yes, the heart, parasympathetic nervous system, eyes, ears, blood as well. So that's an important thing as well. I don't know if you've ever had hematoma or blood suffusion. Um, I don't think so. It's retrograde. No. What is this one here? And nothing else. Yeah, flowing or soft hair. Okay, that's on the side. It's still part of medical astrology. I still put that in here because it's part of it. Alkesti. Here we have Alkesti. No resuscitation. We already talked about that. No grafting. No graft surgeries.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So any trauma burns?
No.
Necrotizing stuff. Fasciitis. Is
No.
it necrotizing? Okay. That's the one. That's the one where it's like I think from what is that, frostbites,
No,
fulminants, skin cancer, regeneration,
had
specifically
skin
regeneration.
cancer.
Sorry.
I had skin cancer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So regeneration of the red blood cells, skeleton cells, brain cells, tissue, bladder cells, liver, and DNA cell material, hair and skin, stomach lining. Mesenchymal, I don't know how to pronounce that. Stem cell. Mesenchymal. Stem cell. Any regenerative process as well. And then your small and large intestines. I'm not sure about that one. I wasn't sure about that. Um, you have here chaos in your. Chaos is a dwarf planet. It's way out there. It's bigger than an asteroid. Much bigger. It's like a basically a planet, dwarf planet. It's tied to your whole body. So this one's an important one. I feel like it's tied to, it's retrograde, but it's tied to Aries. So a lot of it means that I feel like there's something also with your head. So, and also the adrenal, specifically suprarenal glands. So again, the cortisol levels, endocrine system, stress. So that's part of that one.
Hmm.
But I feel like because you have it in the eighth house on an energetic level, um, or spiritual, chaos is like a part of us that is very primordial. It's very like you just know. When you know, you know. It's just kind of like, how do you call this? It's kind of like, I don't know if I want to call it your oversoul, but basically it's kind of like that. Your higher self. That's chaos, and you have that. You
Mm-hmm.
transform through that in throughout life, right? And it's interesting because it's chaos is in your eighth house. Scorpio is the ruling sign for the eighth house, so that makes sense. Um, so any sort of regenerative processes is part of this. Um, your heartbeat is part of this one. We talked about the pregnancy stuff. You had some of that stuff. It says egg cell, pregnancies, uterus, embryo, embryonic development, uterine veins and artery, ovarian arteries, the internal iliac lymph nodes. See, it goes back to the lymph nodes again. So para-aortic lymph nodes, lumbar and superficial inguinal. That was coming back up again. Lymph
Mm-hmm.
nodes. This one's me. Cleft lip palate. That's me. Heart murmur. Okay, you weren't born with this, but if you've been diagnosed with heart murmur, I don't know, because there's systolic, diastolic, and continuous heart murmurs or heart palpitations. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely something going on with my heart. So I have heart palpitations, and I'm being diagnosed with something else. So.
Okay. Let's see what I got here for. There's a lot of stuff here with healing and regeneration. I couldn't find anything like in terms of natural things like food and vitamins that it's good for heart palpitations. But I feel because it's the heart and it's energetically and spiritually, it's like, it's your soul. It's represented in astrology by the sun, and because your sun is in Scorpio, you're still learning how to do a lot of releasing of trauma and all that, basically heavy stuff, heavy emotions, constricted emotions, trapped emotions, that kind of stuff. It needs to be released, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's going to have a huge effect on your heart. And I'm looking at it right now. You have Venus. Your Venus is actually square, I believe, to. Oh, that's right here. Yeah, your Venus and your Sun is square to Jupiter. So that means that when it comes to relationship, like communities that you're in, um, and I know that in this case, what happens is what I'm seeing here is that Cancer and Leo rule your 11th house. It's actually Cancer that rules it, so it's the moon. And I know you want, so it's tied to Gemini. There's a part of you that wants to be curious and about knowledge and want information. You want to really connect and you want to just really have fun, be kind of youthful and have fun. But what's happening here is that there's a lot of anger hidden within you about communities, and also kind of that it's almost like you can't grow in a community, in groups or collectives, at least stronger before, and you're most likely learning from that. So what happens, it affects your heart. It affects you to be like, I want to be cathartic. I want, so that in turn affects you physically. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So one of the things I learned as someone who's I have plutonian placements. I am Sun conjunct Pluto. I'm so familiar with power struggles and specifically ego death. Mine was imposed on me. Let's call it that way. So I've had to learn it the hard way. Um, it's very very dark. It's very like you're suffocating. Like you're literally filled with so much toxins in your body, and you're just like it's debilitating many times, especially throughout your life. But as I go through it on and on, I continuously go through it. I realize that really the best way is surrender. When I say surrender, I don't literally mean like giving up your power. That's not what it is. In fact, surrendering is keeping your power. I think you've heard this before, but it's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to feel it and experience it, right? So I hope that helps, right? So it's really, really surrendering to your inner power. It's inner power, inner power.
It's good to hear. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's hard.
Yeah. So, because it's one thing to also say, "Oh, let go of expectations." Easier said than done, right? So, do you remember that song by I think it was Roxette? Listen to your heart instead of just listen to your heart. I would say listen to your gut, right? Trust that. Trust that. And, because that's the thing about Scorpio. It does want things cathartic, but um, the trick to catharsis. Oh, the trick to catharsis is not to find it in one way only. There's other ways to experience catharsis, right? Have you? I'm curious if you're curious. I'm curious myself if you are curious about getting into. You do mediumship, right?
Hmm.
Are you curious about physical mediumship?
Uh, I do evidential. What's physical? What is?
Oh, that's the one where there's they say it takes years to get to this point, by the way, but there might be you'll feel it on the physical level, like they come in and they manifest themselves, but you need a whole team with you. That's the
Oh,
trick.
is that trance? You mean trance
Yeah, and
mediumship?
it's yeah, but it and then it happens physically.
Oh, I don't know. That's kind of scary. Yeah.
Well, it can be I wouldn't say necessarily say it's cathartic, but well, there's other things too. Like if you so you do trance or you do just do like you don't get into trance mode or anything.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know about the
yeah,
trance.
yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
that's
Yeah,
yeah, that's a little scary yet for me.
I
Yeah.
can understand. Yeah, it's okay. That's totally fine. There's other
Yeah, I
ways
don't.
of.
I don't want them speaking through me yet.
Oh, there's
Like
that
say, yeah,
power thing. Yeah, there's that power thing. I can
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I like to be in control.
I
Yeah,
know. I know. So, and
yeah,
that's totally okay. Um, that's for you. That's part of your needs. That's part of what you need for yourself, right? So, yeah. I guess in terms of what I said with the Jupiter placement there, I would say actually let's take a look at the nodes.
maybe eventually, but
That's fine.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, you're here to get out of that stress anyways. You're here to kind of relax more. So you find the gifts between that you had in your past life, which is tenacity, ability to do research. You're very kind of very focused, like laser focused energy. When you relate to people, you know who to pick and choose. You know how to get rid of garbage, right? That kind
Mhm.
of stuff. That very not only cathartic but also kind of like because it's tied to your second house. It's a lot to do with self worth. So here in this life, you're being called to work on your self worth, but tied to trust. Anything you trust. I don't know if you ever had concerns or issues about taxes. I hate taxes, but with that kind of stuff, it can be kind of like it can be nerve wracking. It's just like, oh,
Right.
it's tax season. Yeah. Have you done somatic breathing ceremony?
I did try it. I did try it. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It,
yeah.
it was okay. I didn't like the teacher that I went to. So there's the where I live, there's not many places to go. I live in the country, so
Okay,
there's
that's right. Mm,
yeah, there's not many
There's
unless I did like, a YouTube video or, something like that,
okay. There's one thing I'd like to kind of not. It's not a suggestion. It's not a recommendation. But if you're feeling called to it, as in even if it feels scary, because okay, let me put it this way. Teal Swan says in her book, the what's that one called? The completion process. She says that there's a difference between wanting to go into something, having the desire to go into something. Oh, sorry, going to something scary, but not actually wanting it, versus going to something scary and actually wanting it.
Oh yeah, I would
Right?
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
So, so when it comes to the whole healing, but tied to the past life stuff, like your inner child, starting with that one. Have you heard of QHHT? Okay. What it does is just like you, because I know it can be scary, but look it up. It's called quantum healing hypnosis technique, right?
Ooh, where'd you go? What did I do? I just hit some. Okay,
I'm
I
sorry.
just hit some. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, QHHT.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, that could go into your inner child stuff, past lives as well. You never know. It can go into galactic history as well. Um, Take a look and see what
Now,
you know.
is there a hypnotist that you go to, or is
Yeah, you
there?
go to like a practitioner. There's there's four levels technically. There's level 0, which is the level 2. There's two types of level 1. There's free, meaning they need to fulfill I think 25 sessions or is it 15 sessions. So they don't charge. So they're beginners. Then there's once they've completed that, then they go into level 1, full level 1, and then they start charging. And then it goes into 2 and then it goes into 3. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like they do charge whatever they need to charge. The higher you go, the higher the cost probably
Well,
will
I
be.
was supposed to get hypnotized tomorrow,
Oh,
but
okay.
we had some kind of pissing contest via the email. I don't know if she missed my email, and then I didn't respond to her email quick enough or something, and
Hmm.
so I said, we're getting off on the wrong foot here. I said, I apologize for something. I didn't. I said I already emailed you back, and she said I'm refunding your money. I said fine with me. So I was like, my God, like
Hmm.
I responded to your email, like so. I'm a little upset. I wanted to get hypnotized, So
Okay.
yeah, I'm all into. So where would I go to find this
Yeah, it's
QHHT?
look up QHHT. Just type it up QHHT. Look up QHHT practitioners, and then they'll
Yeah, I'm into that.
yeah they should send you into they should it should send you to the actual website. There's only one QHHT one, but look it up. It's by Dolores Cannon. You've heard of Dolores Cannon?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
She's not a she's not a psychic. She does anything. She's just like a reporter, basically. Not a reporter. She was
Hmm.
reporting for. She was actually a hypnotist first, but she was just helping people with therapy, like with their life and all that stuff. In the 70s, and what happened was she ended up getting different results on the hypnosis. Stories coming in of like, where are you? And it's like, it's not earthly. It was like elsewhere. And she started realizing with her clients, it was like, okay. So she kept the records and all that stuff. So she's actually written, I believe, maybe 10 books now, apparently, about it. She passed away back in 2017, I think, or 14. No, quite late, 2017, I think. Um, and anyway, so she's done research on galactic beings coming in through their guides, but also through past life stuff like your inner child stuff. And
Oh,
because sometimes our wounds can come from, it's either from other lifetimes, that's one, ancestral, early childhood, so inner child.
oh, I'm doing this tomorrow.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm on it.
Okay, cool. So excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. Which is actually funny. You said earlier you're like, I don't want trance and all that stuff. Technically, they're the same.
Hypnosis and trance?
Yeah, they're not really taking over. What they're doing is like, you'll know that they're there. Because if you don't want to be, if you want them to just come in the way you want them to come in, they'll respect that. That's the way it works.
Well, I'd rather that than to, yeah, no, I don't,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But at least do a bit of research and see what you like. You're not going to be like, it's not going to be some sort of possession or anything like that. Um,
Hey,
but
maybe if I like it, then I'll do trance. Yeah,
okay.
then I'll do physical mediumship.
No, you don't. Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying. I just kind of thought about it because I was told I could do it, and when I heard about physical mediumship, even before I did all this stuff, I was just like, hmm. Because of my Meniere's, and I just like, I have a, so it is kind of. I can understand why it's kind of scary, but at the same time, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, there are times when I'm going into mediumship, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like really releasing because I took this class by Suzanne Giesman. Did you take her class?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I think a lot of hers, yeah.
yeah, awesome. So she talks about the bless me method. You know the bless me method, right? So when I'm going to that state and I'm like elevated right there, it's not that high. I don't feel because when you go into channeling, you can go higher. But there is also non-trance channeling. You know that, right? Like you actually
Uh-huh.
there. Yeah. So there's that. Um, but anyways, but there are times where some want to come in. I'm just like sitting here and I go like I can literally twitch. I'm twitching and twitching a lot, and just sometimes come in here, here, but I'm not in complete trance. It's just like I can sense them. So I don't know if they're getting the message that that's what I want.
Oh,
At this
maybe.
point, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm up for yeah, I guess I'm up for anything, like, eventually, yeah.
hmm.
I mean, I've only been doing mediumship for, a year, so,
Huh.
you know, eventually, yeah,
Hmm.
I'd like to dabble into everything,
Okay.
probably.
All right.
Why not? Yeah,
Yes.
why
So
not?
yeah, why not? Um,
But thank you so much. This was great. I appreciate it.
you're most welcome. I just want to see if I didn't miss anything here. So urine is still. Oh, the feed is important too. Yeah. So there you go. Selective. Nope, that's fine. Larynx lethargy. Oh, lethargic. The tired. Okay. Okay. So that's one thing too. So you circulation of blood. Because when I go to bed, um, I like to keep warm. That's how I do things. Or rather, I want to be warm when I'm in bed. But when I'm not in bed, I prefer to be like colder temperature.
Mhm.
So I'm just saying that's my experience. Um, what else am I seeing here? We already talked about the other stuff here. Pholus is also here. Pholus is an sorry. I know you were about to end there. Sorry. Let me just add follows here. So watch out for any sort of, again, poisoning, like that you, not that you know exactly what's in the food, right? Do you make your own food?
I do.
Okay, me too. Yeah, and that's okay. That's a good way to. It's a healthy way to kind of be in control of what you do. Because either way, the universe supports you. Whatever you choose, right? Whatever it is, it's unconditional. The universe is
Unless
unconditional.
my husband or son is trying to poison me, you never know. You never know. They could try to take me out.
Well, do you ask them? Do you ask them, or like
To take me out?
no, like when they do you ask them if like, oh, well, if you're going out, that's different. You can't. That's the restaurant, right? But if did they cook for you at all? Have they cooked for you before?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mm.
No, no, we're on a good friendly
I know you
relationship.
just. I know. I understand that. Bit of dark humor. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's that. That's that. I hope that answered your questions. Do you have any? Um,
No, you did. It was pretty pretty much what I was thinking with the immune, the catecholamines, the thing that though was the detox.
okay.
That was that was huge.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at that tomorrow also. My brother does a lot of detoxing,
Mm,
so I'm gonna, you know, ask him about good detoxes to do. So
mm-hmm,
yeah, it was very informative.
mm-hmm.
I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I could ever help you out with something, please let me know if you need a review. I'd love to review.
Oh,
Um,
sure. Yeah, yeah. I think I don't know if you're on my Facebook thing. I'll send you the link to the post itself. I made it public so people can review. I think you can review there, so it's totally fine. Yeah, I prefer directly on the post so that way I can go into one location only. But I'll send
okay,
that to you.
yes,
I'll also
yes.
yeah okay, and I'll also send you that 21-day challenge that I told you
Oh,
about.
yes, 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 please do.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
very good.
Well, let me know how it
Very
goes.
nice
You're
meeting
welcome.
you.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I'm getting a genetic swab test for my heart. So we'll have to see how things come up, to see how, things came with what you said and how things came with. So we'll have to,
That's funny. It's a genetic swab, so that means that's good. Yeah, they're tracking it back. So you're on the right path. You're already following your things are coming
yeah,
to you. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, we'll see how, because a lot of things you said were genetic. So we'll see if it really is genetic. So
yeah.
we'll see how good,
Have they already taken it, or you're not
No,
yet? Okay,
I'm waiting for them to call me. So
okay, but that's tomorrow. So you're gonna.
no,
Oh,
I don't
that's.
know when.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well,
Hopefully within December or January, I'll get it
is
done.
it kind of like a yearly checkup where when you go to the doctor, they check what you need? Is it?
No, it's just a one-time genetic test.
Oh, so whatever they give you is what they give you. Oh, okay, okay. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah.
mm. Oh, we can
So,
actually confirm that too with your chart. We can go into. I'm just giving you this option right now in the future because you do have more freebies. Um, I we can do like what you call like an past life stuff in terms of where you were before. Because this happened to me.
oh,
I was just like I realized I was in India. I was in Switzerland. I was in the Czech Republic. Yeah, so I've seen that. Ukraine's a big one. I was in Ukraine in the past life. Bulgaria, two big countries. There's a reason I was drawn to that. It's like that's interesting.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
okay.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good.
Awesome.
You're
Thank you. I
you're
appreciate that too. Okay. Thank
Well,
you.
make sure you send me everything. I'd love to give you a great review. I appreciate it.
Awesome. I appreciate that too. Oh, thank you. Sorry, blush. Sorry. Okay, well, let's
Oh,
go. It's late for you.
okay.
All right. Thank you so much again. Bye, Lynn.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
All right. You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.
All right. So, thank you very much for all that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to also laugh along with me. Thank you for staying that long. I know that the readings are quite long, but they do go into that much detail, and that's part of any reading. That's that when you add value to what you do, not because you need to add value, but because it's something that you really enjoy doing, go for it. That's what I recommend. Listen to your heart, right? So, anyways, so what else is there? Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, great. Comments down below if you have any questions. I really would like to connect. And also, like and subscribe. Hit the like button. If you do like it, I'm not going to force you to like it. You know how it goes, right? Let me know, honestly, what you think or how you feel about it, because I'd like to connect. Because I am planning something in the near future. I'm hoping to do it as soon as I can. Something that, well, that might help people at a reasonable price, and that's something to do with astrology as well. So keep your eye out for that one. But in the meantime, for now, that's it for now. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a very good day. Again, like and subscribe, whatever you want to do, and also comment down below. I'd like to connect more as well. And, all that kind of goody stuff. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye bye.